My name is Michelle Hohn. I am 40 years old. I was diagnosed initially with 2A triple negative breast cancer, and then it metastasized into stage 4 um, I guess a year later. Um, I'm a teacher.
Okay. What is one word to describe your diagnosis day?
I would say paralyzing.
I understand that. What is one thing that you wish you'd know sooner?
That statistics and mortality rates aren't the same for everyone. Initially, I was given a 5-year survival rate. Um, then, when I was diagnosed stage 4, I was told I had about 18 months left to live. So, those obviously did not become true statements.
That's so important because sometimes it is just a blank, you know,
Right.
and no one knows, right?
Correct.
What has been the hardest part of this journey?
I would say that uncertainty is the hardest part. I plan my life in 3-month increments based on scan times. So I'm due for a scan on Wednesday, and it's like, okay, well, if this scan's good, then that gives me 3 months to kind of like plan what I'm going to do because everything will be okay. And then I have to plan it off of every 3 months. And I've been doing that for um see, it's a long time. I've been
Well,
doing this a long time.
yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have an amazing attitude about it.
I try.
What is the biggest lesson cancer has taught you?
The biggest lesson cancer has taught me is that my fear of death was really different than I thought it would be. As a kid, and I was always worried about everybody else dying around me until like that moment happened where I was like, huh, here I am. I'm the one that's sitting here. Like things might not turn out okay. So I just kind of have like a newer appreciation and less of a fear of the concept.
I think that's important. What is the biggest cancer myth?
It won't happen to me. I was 32 when I was diagnosed. I had no family history of breast cancer. And then all of a sudden, I was given this diagnosis of the most aggressive form of breast cancer. And I was facing like not being around for my own children. And I was really like the only person I had known in my area where I live that had this diagnosis at such a young age.
And that's a really important because I think a lot of people have this misconception that it's only family history or it won't happen to me when majority of breast cancer now is not related to family history.
Right.
What do you think some people get wrong about survivorship?
Oh, wow. A lot. So I think that one of the biggest things people get wrong about survivorship is the words no evidence of disease. Just because you're classified as no evidence of disease doesn't mean you're normal again. The scans, the blood work, the oncology appointments, every 3 months, the fatigue as of a mom of 2 kids, and I have 2 stepchildren. I work full time and maintain a home and all different kinds of schedules, and people think you should just bounce right back and be back to normal, and you can't. And when people talk about being tired, like this isn't the tired you take a nap and it makes it better. This is like the constant exhaustion and the medications you have to take to be able to still perform at a level that you were before cancer. Um, so that's hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also nobody like really prepares you for like survivorship. You don't know all the things that are going to come after you've been diagnosed, like the cataracts and the cataract surgery and all
Jeez.
the meds you have to take and all of those things.
That's important because most people probably don't know that. They think once you're clear, and that may not always be the case.
Right.
Were there any symptoms that you ignored but wish you hadn't?
Oh, yes. So I had a history of breast fibroids and cysts previously. It went back all the way till I was 19 years old, I think, when I had the first issue. And I was at work one day and I was just like, wow, something doesn't feel right near like my armpit. And I felt a lump and it felt bumpy. And I like did some research and, oh, it shouldn't feel painful. Well, it was pretty painful when I touched it. So, I waited a few weeks. I was like, oh, it might go away. And in a few weeks,
Mhm.
it didn't go away. And then I waited another few weeks and went to my gynecologist. And that's when the ball started to roll.
Mm, that's important. Thank you for sharing that because a lot of
Mhm.
people might think the same, like it'll go away. What should everyone know about early detection?
It literally can save your life. It's important mammograms, um, you know, feel it on the first, just self exams. Those steps in taking and detecting early could save you from pretty drastic changes like chemotherapy or surgeries or anything like that. Take it seriously.
That's all good information. Thank you. We're going to switch a little bit to support. Who was
Okay.
your role during this time?
Oh, this is interesting story because if we go back to my initial diagnosis and then into my stage 4 diagnosis, I was married at the time. So you could say it was my husband, but it was really my parents, my grandma, my work family, all of those people. Um, and then since then, I've been divorced. I am now remarried. And my husband's a huge support system. My kids, it's just a really great, I'm in a really great spot with support.
That's amazing. That sounds like you found your right people.
Right.
Carry you through this. Is there a small act of kindness that you'll never forget during this time?
I think it was just the number of people that were constantly praying, reaching out, not to be nosy, but just, hey, how are you? Is there anything I can do for you? That that just meant the most that people were on your side, even if you didn't even really know them. That was the most important thing.
Who helped you or what helped you on your hardest days?
Oh, I would say, whew, that's hard. That one's a hard question. Um, just trying to find success stories, finding other people and different cancer support groups that were thriving um, at the time, like, or even other people I knew who had cancer. Maybe it'd be a different kind of cancer, but I was still able to like talk to them and, you know, really get through a day. Or, it's hard to say, like, oh, you try to act normal for a day because normal doesn't exist anymore. The normal that I spent 32 years with
Right.
is no longer the normal now. So,
That's important. How has cancer changed you?
um, lots of ways. I can say that I eat differently now. I am very careful. I read all labels. I, you know, think about what may have bothered me 8, 9, 10 years ago is not the same things that are going to bother me now. When I say my whole life literally changed, my whole life literally changed. Um, with the exception of like my job and my first marriage, like those were big changes. I guess the marriage was a big change, but
Mm.
um, you know, I've just really lived life in a different way now.
Understandably so. What does survivor mean to you?
Um, Survivor, well, it means a lot of different things. It doesn't mean that you're always like just thriving or you're doing the best you can. You're like weathering the storm, like you're getting through everything that you need to do and trying to be as positive as you can. And some days that's really, really hard.
Mhm.
Um, when you walk down the street, nobody knows that you're a cancer survivor, unless you're blatantly wearing something that says you're a cancer survivor. So
Right.
the being a survivor is basically like the world still goes on no matter what. And sometimes that's hard to think about because you've had like so much emotional baggage with cancer and you know but you know how far you've come in life and the leaps and bounds you've made, and it's something to be proud of.
I like that. What does healing look like now?
Oh, another good question. So healing, I think, is mainly trying to just make peace with what has happened. Physically, the healing, I think, will be a forever battle. I've mentioned a few things previously, like just all the different like side um, effects that I've had with, trying to come off like the drugs and the chemotherapies. And so healing now looks like just being at peace with what has happened.
What is a message to someone newly diagnosed?
A message that I would say is no matter what, everything will work out the way it's supposed to.
What is one thing you tell your younger self?
One thing I think I would tell my younger self is to make sure you go to the doctor, you get the follow ups, you do the preventative testing, and don't be so naive. It can happen to you, and it happened to you, and just take care of the person and the self that you are then.
That's important. What gives you hope today?
I think just knowing like all of the treatments out there, I'm heading into 3 years of no evidence of disease. Hopefully, we get another year. Um, I'm just trying to remain positive, and it helps to watch my kids grow up now because I didn't think I would be able to do that. Um, so those are some things that give me definite hope.
That's amazing. Yes, and we're hopeful for another year as well, and many more.
Yes.
This is a little different, but it's a finish the sentence type of question.
Okay.
I am stronger because.
I am stronger because I've been through hell and back multiple times.
Yeah. And you're still here and you're still giving hope to other women. So
That's right.
that is amazing, and we are so appreciative. Breast cancer taught me
Breast cancer taught me not to take life for granted, um, live in the moment, and just be positive as you can.
Survivorship feels like
Survivorship feels like a roller coaster. You really never know what to expect.
that's a good one. That is really good. My reminder to others would be
My reminder to others would be to give yourself grace. Um, Cancer didn't start in just one night, and it's not going to end in one night either.
now, those were all the questions that I had. Is there
Okay.
anything that you want to share additionally or that you feel is important?
I guess timelines might be helpful, which I'm willing to share that information. So initially, I was diagnosed stage 2A, triple negative breast cancer in November of 2017. I was 32 years old. I had a 6-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son at the time. I went through the standard treatment regimen, did all those different types of radiations, a lumpectomy. And in July of 2019, I was diagnosed with metastatic triple negative, which had spread to my chest wall, my lung, and my lymph nodes. I was 33 years old at the time, and my kids had just turned 8 and 6. So I worked pretty much full time from the start of my diagnosis until I'm currently working now full time as a teacher. I've taken a few like 6 month medical leaves off in that time, but I'm still grinding and doing everything that I need to have successful children, family, um, all of those kinds of things.
That's amazing. What a story. And I think it just shows your will, determination. I mean, sounds like your kids are really your driving force, but that's amazing. How far
They
you
are.
and that's what gives, I think, a lot of women hope. And you heard really scary numbers, but that's
Mhm.
not your story. And I think that's, there's been so many advancements in research and treatments that those numbers aren't always applicable. And you're a true testament of that. So we really appreciate you sharing your story. And if there's
Absolutely.
anything,
Thank you.
yeah, no, thank you so much. And if there's anything else you want to share, feel free.
I participate in some cancer patient panels to do like some advocacy work um, and to really get out my experience and just share to hope and hopes to help others.
That's amazing. That is incredible. Well, we're really appreciative. Um, we get, calls weekly of new women that get diagnosed. And so we wanted to kind of put something together to share the hope and to tell people that they're not numbers, they're people, and everyone's outcome is different. So it's really great to hear your story and all you've been through, and you're here, and you're amazing. So we really are so appreciative of everything you shared with us.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.